All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating piece of the AI puzzle called Prompt Optimizer. Think of it as a smart layer that sits right between you and those powerful AI models you're using. We're about to see how it can totally change the game.
So let me ask you something. If you're building anything with AI, you've probably felt this exact pain point. You're using these incredible models, right? Like Claude Opus or the latest from GPT. But then that monthly bill hits your inbox and it's a bit of a shock. That power, it definitely comes with a steep price tag.
But what if you could actually tame that cost without sacrificing the quality of the results? Well, that's the core promise of Prompt Optimizer. For what we'd call a heavy user, this could mean chopping your costs by over 40%. Suddenly, a $5 daily expense drops to less than $3. And you know what? That adds up fast. Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down. We'll start with why AI can get so expensive. Then we'll introduce Prompt Optimizer itself. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of how it saves you money, explore the benefits that go way beyond just cost, and then we'll have an honest chat about the trade-offs. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the high cost of AI. This is the whole reason that platforms like Prompt Optimizer even exist. It's the fundamental problem they're designed to solve. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's put some numbers on it. If you're a heavy user, say you're sending about 100 prompts a day to a top-tier model like Claude Opus 4.5, your baseline cost is going to be around $5. But with an optimization system running, that cost plummets to just $2.85. That's a 43% saving every single day. And it does that by being really smart about which tasks actually need the most powerful and, yeah, the most expensive AI brainpower. Which brings us perfectly to our next section, introducing Prompt Optimizer. Now, I want you to think of this not just as some tool, but as a really strategic part of your AI setup, what we call an intelligent abstraction layer. So what on earth does that actually mean? Well, intelligent middleware is kind of like having a super efficient project manager and a brilliant translator all rolled into one. It grabs the requests you send to an AI, it cleans them up, makes them better, and then it smartly routes them to make sure you get the absolute best result for the lowest possible cost. And this quote right here, it just nails the core philosophy. Prompt Optimizer separates what you want to do, your intent, from the raw command you're sending to the AI. It figures out your goal, and then it finds the most efficient way to get it done, which, isn't always the most obvious path. And this simple diagram shows you exactly how it all fits together. See, your application doesn't talk directly to OpenAI or Anthropic anymore. Instead, it sends everything to the Prompt Optimizer API. This middle layer right here, it handles all the heavy lifting, the routing, the improving, the caching, before it finally passes a perfected prompt onto the big language model. It's a really simple change in workflow, but it has a massive impact. Okay, now for the main event. How does this system actually save you money? Let's meet the frugal manager and see how it works. It all comes down to this clever 3-layer defense system that protects your wallet. First up, you've got the Regex Gatekeeper. It just looks for simple keywords. If it can answer your question without bothering an AI at all, it will. Cost? $0. Next, if AI is needed, it does something called intelligent downgrading. It asks, does this really need our most expensive model, or can a cheaper, faster one handle it? And third, caching. If you ask the same question twice, you get the answer for free. Simple as that. And the impact of this whole strategy is crystal clear. You can see it in the chart. Only about half of your requests ever even make it to that expensive, top-of-the-line model. The rest, they're either handled by the cache for free or routed to much, much cheaper models. You basically stop overpaying for simple tasks. Now, you might be wondering, okay, that sounds great, but how reliable is this intelligent routing? Well, the engine that powers it all, the part that detects the context of your prompt, is over 91% accurate. That high level of precision is exactly what makes the whole system work so well. But here's the thing. This isn't just about saving money, as awesome as that is. Let's look at how Prompt Optimizer helps you build smarter integrations, turning your simple text into truly professional prompts. Take a look at this image generation example. A user just types a simple idea, tracking shot of a futuristic city. Prompt Optimizer gets it, enhances it, and adds these professional goals, like optimizing for visual density and technical precision. It transforms a basic idea into a much, much richer prompt, which leads to a way better final image. And it's the exact same story for technical stuff. A developer asks for some code, the system enhances that prompt to make sure it's technically accurate, that it preserves the right logic, and even that it aligns with security standards. It's kind of like having an expert co-pilot looking over your shoulder for every single prompt. Now imagine scaling this up for a large organization. It becomes incredibly powerful. You can set it up as a central AI gateway. All the internal requests flow through it, which means you can enforce rules, manage costs, and keep quality high across the board. Plus, it frees you from being locked into any single AI provider. You get the flexibility to switch models without having to rewrite all your apps. That's huge. But, of course, no system is perfect. It's really important to be transparent about any potential downsides. So let's talk about the honest trade-offs here. The biggest benefit is actually also its biggest risk. Routing simple queries to cheaper models is fantastic for your budget, but the system might misjudge a short prompt that's actually really nuanced. For example, a simple-sounding question like, "Explain gravity," might get sent to a less powerful model, giving you a shallower answer than you were hoping for. It's a constant balancing act between saving money and always tapping into that maximum AI power. So what's the ultimate takeaway here? I think the best way to think of Prompt Optimizer is as an incredibly efficient assistant. It does all the prep work, it cleans up your requests, it handles all the simple stuff on the cheap, and it makes sure that when you do need to call in the expensive expert, that premium AI model, your request is perfectly prepared and absolutely necessary. And that leaves us with one final big thought to chew on. As the AI models themselves get more and more powerful, and probably more expensive, could it be that these intelligent middleware layers, these frugal managers and expert assistants, actually become the most critical part of the entire AI stack? It's a question that's definitely going to shape how we all build with AI in the future.